I have a few things that I'd like to share. I was watching some ghost shows, and I think it was Paranormal State, and they were talking about banshees. Now that's a scary word, and usually they're in Ireland. They talk about banshees and what they do. And so this particular ghost hunter was explaining that when you hear the cry of the banshee, someone will die after that. Well, that creeped me out because when I lived at the old house, I was in the kitchen, and I've said this story before. I was in the kitchen. It was dark, and I was by myself with my cats, and I heard this crying that I never heard before, and it was so sad, and I can't even explain to you. It's like trying to explain what it feels like when a ghost touches you, which I have experienced. That it's just a really strange way of explaining how that feels. Well, hearing this banshee, well, this crying was frightening, and all I kept hearing was this, and it was through the air conditioner. And as I sat there, because my computer's there and everything, and as I'm in there because I just happened to go, so as I went over to the kitchen table, um, I hear this crying, and I'm like, who is at my kitchen window crying? And I mean, it's late at night. If you knew where I lived, it'd be like, wow, that's an odd place for somebody to be crying. So I finally got up the nerve to go open up the window, not that window because the air conditioner was in there, but I went to the other room, the living room, which is the same side because it's the driveway. And I opened up that window and I peeked my head out and I looked over toward the outer kitchen window, and there was nothing there. I saw no eyes, I saw no movement, I saw nothing, and it's pretty dark back there in the driveway. And I shared the driveway with my neighbor. So, bewildered and all, I, uh, went back in the house, shut the window, and I wasn't scared, but I was kind of like concerned, kind of creeped out. But I heard nothing in the living room, so when I go back to the kitchen by the air conditioner, there's the crying, the weeping. It's more like a weeping. And it was just so sad. And I was just thinking of it, it's just, I've never heard crying like that. I never heard weeping like that. And it went for a while. And I was too afraid to say, who is that or anything, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to encourage it. So I go back and I lay on the couch and I'm watching TV. And I just let it go because I don't know what's going on, and I kind of ignored a lot of that stuff that happens because what can I do? I find out that my Aunt Georgie dies. My Aunt Georgie lives in Puerto Rico. Um, I was shocked. She died of pneumonia. I mean, this is a nurse. This is a healthy woman, one of his youngest sisters. And they look like boy and girl twins. She's very, very, very pretty, lovely lady. She's like one of my favorite aunts. And she lives right next to her mom, which has passed away, but she lives right next to the house. And it's like, I can't believe she died of pneumonia in Puerto Rico. Like, who gets pneumonia in Puerto Rico? But she did. When I found out, of course, I was shocked and everything. But I didn't make the connection to the weeping. Then all of a sudden, I start feeling, because, I dream of dead people a lot. Matter of fact, I've been dreaming a lot of Santos lately, and he used to, like, protect my house when I used to go to Puerto Rico to visit my family. He used to, like, watch the house. I found out he passed away He got out of his car and he was fixing a tire and got hit. The hit and run. So I've been dreaming a lot of him, and my cats have been following things that are not there. And I'll see things out of the window, like if I'm on the couch watching TV, out the back door. I'm facing the back door. I'll see lights. I'll see things from my peripheral vision that'll make me look. I turn the back light on so it'll stop. But most of the time I dream of people that I know. So I'm watching this show and they're talking about banshees. And that, oh, I know who it was. It was Ghost Hunters International. That's what it was. And he said if you hear the cry of a banshee, someone dies right after that. And who died was my aunt, Jaji, my titi. And now I know the connection because when he said it, like my aunt's been dead like 5 years now. So when I heard it just the other day, 5 years ago, it hit me. Like, oh my goodness, now I know what that was. That was a banshee. Oh my gosh, like I usually, get an idea when somebody dies in the family. So now I know that my aunt died because I knew when my grandmother died because I dreamed it in Puerto Rico. But when Jaji died, it was the banshee letting me know. And then ever since then, I have this Halloween clock in my kitchen because my kitchen theme is harvest, fall, autumn, and Halloween. So it has a mixture of all that. But it's mostly harvest. But I have a Halloween clock. It has jack-o'-lanterns. It's really, really cute. And then every time it hits on the hour, it'll scream. So now the clock's acting up for a while. It hasn't been going off. All of a sudden, the clock's going off. And I'm aware of it because I haven't heard it in quite some time since I moved from the other house that was very haunted to this new place that I live. It's the same area. This clock is playing, screaming, and I know it's my aunt. And then I dream of her because I knew it was her. And so every time the clock would go off, and then finally it stopped. Now I live here, and my new address is like a triangle, like the Bermuda Triangle, and the clock hasn't been playing, and I haven't hung it up yet, but it's on the table, and it's working. Put new batteries in it, and it's not screaming. So, like, please don't scream. And now I understand what that was. Now I haven't had that before. That was the first time I experienced the cry or the weeping. It was more like a weeping of the banshees. Like somebody was crying because that person was hurt because someone lost something. It was just that kind of a cry. Like they lost their best friend. It was really, really sad. And now I understand. There are banshees because my aunt died right after that. And I just wanted to share that with you. And it's 2012, January 26th. And all is well.